Coach Dave, thank you for the time this morning. We're halfway into the season, and just want to know a little bit update. If you can give us a little update on the team, how they're progressing. I know that we have a fairly young team. How are we doing as of today?
Pretty good. As a coaching staff, I feel like we are ecstatic about the progress our program has made. There are so many things that we've installed in the program as far as the culture, the look of our team, and with our gear and the way we conduct ourselves. And I'm very excited about how the guys have really bought into the things that we're setting up for our team. This goes from coming in early and working out on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the weight room, and also the way they conduct themselves in the training room, doing their prehab for ankles and knee injuries, and then also how we've worked hard in a film room and really studying ourselves and our opponents and preparing for matches, and then in the final part of it in the practice environment in the gym, the guys really come in and work hard. I couldn't ask for a better group of guys when it comes to their dedication and their attentiveness to what we say and their willingness to try new things. And everything that we've asked them to do, they've done from the standpoint of what we want the program to look like going forward. And the only thing left for us is, I think, is a little more experience. And the things related to the actual volleyball is getting better at our touches and making sure that we're better from the service line and better in serve receive. And it's kind of amazing. The process is actually coming along really well. And in our last match, we played extremely well. We're very happy with our last match last Friday versus Santiago Canyon, where we actually forced a team into a little bit of a bad place in a couple sets. Set 2, I think we had a nice lead. It was 18-18 late in the second set, and then we ended up losing that set. And in the third set, we actually had a good lead in that set, and I feel like the team is starting to have longer stretches of success and shorter stints of bad runs where teams can't take as much of an advantage of us, and we're actually starting to really click offensively, get settled into new positions, and it's really exciting to see guys start to learn their position that we've put them in. We've kind of switched some guys around, and they're really kind of learning their new position and getting comfortable in those positions. And I think the big bonus for us is that the guys really do a good job of staying together. They like each other, and that stuff makes it easy for guys to change positions without any animosity. And I couldn't ask for more. It really gives me a lot of motivation to double down on my efforts to game plan better, to watch our film on opponents we've already played, and prepare for theory class and video, and really set up good practices to prepare ourselves for the upcoming opponents who we've already played. So we'll play Golden West tomorrow, who we've already played, and we've got video on them, and I've actually just sat down and did a nice long stretch of doing some charting and figuring out. I'm about to go to theory class right now, and we're going to go over our opponent and see if we can improve a little bit. They kind of gave us a thumping our last time we met them, and I know they beat Miramar last Friday. I talked to Kevin, their coach, and I think that I would just like us to go out and compete a little bit more than we did our first time. I think that we're a better team than when we played them last, and I'm anxious to see us start to beat some teams, to win some sets, and really show some teams who we are, where we're going.
You talked a little bit about experience of this team and how young they are, and some of them, first year players with very little experience. Now, with you and the coaching staff, what is your mindset in not letting the scores game in, game out affect them in what they do during practice and in games? How do you approach it to these players to keep positive moving forward?
That's a great question. I think if there was an answer to that, a secret answer to that, I think every coach would use it. And really, I think it's team specific. I mean, depending on what players you have and the makeup of your team, there's different ways to approach it. And I think with this team, it really is one of those things where it depends on each situation in particular. Like if what's going on when we're losing those points is a real indicator on how I would address it. So, for instance, if we're struggling in serve receive, we might take the passers off to the side in a timeout and address them in a more specific environment. Position related feedback rather than a group related feedback. And I think that sometimes that gets tough as a coach because you're caught up in the emotion of the game, and you want your guys to be energetic when you really need to put that off to the side and focus on, hey, what do we need to work on maybe technique wise here that can help us improve. And I think if you address it, it's easy to get caught up when you're losing points. You look over the scoreboard and fail to address maybe the small technical change that you can make as a team, or maybe a positional change or shift in serve receive or attacking strategy. It's hard sometimes because the scoreboard really, as points start to bleed away, you start to fail to be able to control the emotions. And I think that's kind of one of the things we need to play at a certain level and even keel, so to speak, to try and control that.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
You mentioned we have Golden West next, and let's go Olympians.
All right, thank you.